Wow, wow, wow. I don't believe this just happened. Oh my goodness. We have we got a brand new WWE champion. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Break It Down with Brian H. We're going to talk about that in coming up right now. We got a new WWE champion. But we got to roll the intro first.
No, baby, that's for somebody else. We're just gonna keep you right where you're at right now.
It doesn't matter what you think.
The Wrestling Wrealm presents Break It Down with Brian H.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of Break It Down with Brian H. Keeping it 100. We did it. We got a new WWE champion. Monday Night Raw yet again. Big E, WWE champion, cashing in. I ain't gonna lie to you folks. I didn't watch most of the show. I saw the beginning. I saw he tweeted earlier. Big E tweeted earlier that he would be cashing in. It's the first night of Monday Night Football. I told my friends, I said, look, WWE ain't crazy. The ratings, it's all about the ratings, right? And I sit here and try to put YouTube and stuff together and all that other jazz. But I said, with the ratings the way that they are, they know this is the first night against Monday Night Football that they've had, the first one with fans. Nonetheless, WWE really did their thing tonight. Big E winning the WWE Championship. I think this is huge. This is huge for him. I was just listening to his New Day pod, and it was about him talking about mental health. And when he talked about mental health, he brought up the fact that shout out to Megan tuning in. If you want to join, I'm gonna put the link out there. If you want anybody want to come in, we're gonna celebrate Black excellence tonight. Appreciate y'all tuning in. And so just come on here, be respectful. But I'm gonna put the link out there. But he talked about just a couple years ago, not necessarily wanting to live, right? Just not saying, he said he had some suicidal thoughts and he never imagined that his life would be where it is. And tonight he is the new WWE champion. It's amazing. You love to see it, right? I'm speechless because and shout out to Blue for the Mixed Tag Show. We was just recording an episode of breaking through the glass ceilings. Spoiler alert, that's coming up next, right? And we was recording an episode, and as we recording the episode, as we wrapping up, he says, "Hey man, they really about to do this. Oh, Bobby Lashley's hurt. Look like it's not going to happen." And sure enough, it does. Bobby Lashley gets in. They go to commercial, and then they have the match. And I'm sitting there. I got the Ravens and Raiders on, as you can see. It's Monday night. I ain't even get a chance to put on my work uniform, my Wrestling Wrealm stuff, because I had to transition real fast, and I'm kind of speechless. I'm gonna go back and just what a night. Bobby Lashley holding the title since March 1st all the way to September 13th, and now from one Black WWE champion to another Black WWE champion. How many of y'all thought that Big E didn't have a chance? How many thought that Big E didn't have a chance when he won the championship? You know what I mean? A lot of people say, oh, no, he's not going to win a championship. No freaking way. This, that, and the other. But instead, he is your new WWE champion, and I think this is great. Let's see, put I think this is great. We celebrating Black excellence here, and celebrating Big E. Somebody who, this is somebody that when you saw the New Day, even I think it was MVP said, he thought he was going to be the first one to win the WWE championship. And I said when Kofi won, right? I said, don't be surprised if Big E, if he opened the door for Big E and Xavier Woods, right? Some people say, oh, no, that ain't going to happen. I said, don't be surprised. It's possible, it is very possible for both of them to win the WWE championship. But, tonight it was Big E's night. And I think it's definitely the shock factor. I love it. There's a conversation to be had about, is WWE no longer in cruise control because of what happened in AEW, because of all the stuff that AEW is doing. Is WWE out of cruise control and not playing, back to playing offense, right? And when the wrestling business plays offense, it's fun. We as fans win, you know. Shout out to Public Enemies Pod for that GIF. Oh man, that was hilarious. It was about Big E, Vince McMahon wearing the do rag and having back to back black WWE champions. That's something nobody would have never seen coming. If you go back a couple years ago, nobody would have never seen this coming. There was always the complaints about, all right, when the black wrestler gonna get their chance? Rightfully so. Um, yeah, so, but it's man, I'm almost. It's not Black History Month. With March was coming right off of Black History Month. It's not Black History Month. Um, you know, AEW, there's still a lot to be desired about for their quote unquote diversity. So WWE said, well, we got diversity over here. They showing that this can be a place that people love to work. You know, um, and we'll see. Will Big E have a run? That's going to be the part that's interesting to watch, right? Will Big E have a run, or will he just be, will he be a transitional champion? As Las Vegas just tied the game. That's a different story. Uh, you know, oh, man. But yeah, I think this is as we look, shout out to everybody joining in. Appreciate y'all coming on in, whether you're watching on Periscope, if you're watching on YouTube, or you're watching on Twitch. Definitely appreciate y'all. Appreciate each and every one of you. Like I said, it's a huge night in the wrestling business as Big E has done it. Big E has became the WWE champion. Banks on Russ. I'm watching the game. I have no idea what's going on with wrestling. Banks, what up, man? Yeah, came through to support. I appreciate it. You saw the title. We got a new WWE champion. Big E. He is the WWE champion. It's not a clickbait. It's not Photoshop. He has won it. He cashed in his money in the bank. Excuse me. Bobby Lashley had a leg injury. They said we still going to have this match. He beat him down, and then boom, next thing you know, we got a new champion, and it's amazing. It's something I didn't see coming. Yeah, it's definitely something I didn't see coming tonight. We've been watching wrestle long enough, right? So we figure, okay, Lashley's going to hold on to it for a while. Let's get through this Big E and Randy story, or why would they put the belt on Big E right now? That's always, we like to couch book everything. We like to think we know everything, right? And that just certainly wasn't the case tonight. Shock factor. And I think Big E is somebody that we will see some investments in. What do you think about the Becky? It's Batman. The Becky and Bianca booking so far. It's all right, I guess. Not the biggest fan of it, but we'll see. Um, Ed Ed Fries 2002. What up, Ed? I know I haven't been on Twitch in a minute. I got to get back on there, but he just said big ups to Big E. Yes, definitely. Make sure y'all subscribe or follow the Wrestling Realm on Twitch as well. And then there's where you can follow the Wrestling Realm on IG and Instagram. Now I'm interested to see what happens with the New Day. Oh, another thing about this, I think it was very important to get Big E off of SmackDown. It was very important to get Big E off of SmackDown. Because he wasn't going past the Tribal Chief, he wasn't going past Roman Reigns, but you put him on Raw, and now it's like kind of a level playing ground, right? Raw got that spark. People are going to be talking about Monday Night Raw tomorrow night, more than people have been talking about it in a long time, because it's not going to be, oh yeah, Raw. You're gonna have people saying Raw was boring, whatever, whatever. But this was a night that will be memorable, just like it was in March when Big E won. I mean, when Bobby Lashley won. That was a huge night for wrestling. It was a huge night for the culture, and it was sort of, it wasn't Money in a Bank esque, but it was a, I owe you, you owe me. And this was, a Money in the Bank cash in. Money in the Bank cash ins are always high. They're always high. It's something you always look forward to. And for them to do this, I want to see, will WWE continue to compete on Monday nights? You know, because we talk about the Attitude Era a lot, and there was a time they was competing with Monday Night Football. You rather watch the Attitude Era than Monday Night Football. Now we have the ability to watch two screens. That's what I was doing. I had Raw on my computer, and I had the game on TV, and then obviously I was doing an interview, as I mentioned earlier. But now Big E is WWE champion. I don't think Bobby Lashley had a stale run. I think we'll see some back and forth between them. I like the fact that Bobby wasn't 100% going into this, because of the fact that he wasn't 100%. It made it better because now there's a story there. Shout out to D-Man X, thoughts on Gable Stevenson. I think it's huge. Gable Stevenson coming to the WWE he's a legit wrestler. He's somebody that we'll see, have a program. It'd be kind of like, we'll see if they book him like the Black Kurt Angle. I mean, obviously, I think he knows, he's not going to be like Angle and come in and say he can't lose. But I do think it's going to be fun to see, an Olympic wrestler in the WWE again. People still want to see the wrestling, but we want to see the entertainment, and that's going to be fun. And if he's undeniably good the way Kurt Angle was, then they ain't gonna have no choice but to push him. That's how it was with Kurt Angle. He was too good. You had to push him. Yeah, Cliff Washington says, did Big E really win? Yes, Big E really won. He cashed in Money in the Bank tonight, and he won. October 1st. Shout out to John watching. Y'all just coming in. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications. Yeah, October 1st is the lottery. Big E will be on Raw. It makes sense. He's got to be on Raw now. But that lottery taking place here in Baltimore, and I'm hoping I get a chance to go. We'll see. We'll see what my schedule is looking like. I don't know what it's going to look like then. But yeah, it's something that I'm, hoping to be able to do as we look forward to Monday Night Raw coming up. But yeah, Big E is the WWE champion. That sounds weird, right? Gable has a lot of potential. He'll be green at first, which is fine, but I think IWC is going to eat him if he's pushed too fast. Yeah, that's always going to happen. And that's the difference that Kurt Angle didn't have, right? Kurt didn't have to worry about the IWC. I think they'll call him Stevenson because there's this whole thing about not wanting two people same names or whatever. So he'll probably be called Stevenson. So I didn't want Bobby to lose yet. I've been wanting him to beat up Brock for years. I agree with you, Cliff. I do. But I do think there's an opportunity there. I think we'll get Brock and Bobby eventually. I hope. Zia uncle Z uncle. Okay. But yeah, I think we'll get, there's an opportunity there for Lashley to face a guy like Kurt Angle. I mean, an opportunity for Lashley to face a guy like Brock Lesnar. Maybe not right now because obviously he's busy with the tribal chief, but it'll come. Appreciate that. Yeah, hit the like button and subscribe. It's free to subscribe. We got a lot of cool stuff on the channel. I definitely appreciate y'all coming through tonight as we celebrate. I didn't know I was going live. I mentioned earlier, I got the Ravens on. They in a 2-minute drive. Lamar Jackson taking off running, and he's going to get a first down, and he's keep going. And he's upfield in the, yes, let's go. Look like this game is going to come down to Justin Tucker. My bad. I know this is a wrestling show. Y'all come to talk wrestling. Bobby Lashley loses the WWE championship with the same place he won. He won it on Monday Night Raw. I expect everybody, all the blogs to pick this up tomorrow. I expect everybody to be talking about this, a cash in. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like the way some people think it's too soon, and that's how I can understand that. Some people wanted a program, but sometimes you just got to change the title, and you had that shock factor. It's pretty cool. It's pretty freaking awesome, to be honest with you, because you don't think about it, right? No, like, did we, and when he tweeted it out, he tweeted it early. Everything pro wrestling. Yes. What's up, everything pro wrestling? John says that the women's tag titles need to go. Well, tag team wrestling is always a hard sell. Will Rice, what's good, bro? Appreciate you jumping on today. When Bobby Lashley tweeted it out and he said that he was cashing in, I thought, oh, okay. They want to have the ratings. We know the Ravens and the Raiders are playing. This is the first Monday Night Football game. Well, but then you hear all this stuff about these networks, right? You hearing things like the networks aren't happy with things that's happening on Monday Night Raw. They really, then Fox doesn't like Peacock being promoted, but that's where the pay-per-views take place. So it's a lot of things. It says setup was great because he'd been teasing Roman the whole time and then announced it today. Yeah, Ed hit it right on point. He was in doing Big E stuff, right? And then he shows up. And we said he was cashing in, you're thinking, all right, maybe he's tricking him or something. But then he actually did it. How long you think Roman Reigns will realistically last? Are you talking about his reign or just Reigns in general? I think Roman is somebody that Hollywood will be looking at, quite frankly. But I think this title reign, I think he actually beats Brock Lesnar. I don't think Roman is going to lose to Lesnar. Yeah, I really think he beats him. Lamar Jackson staying on his feet. Cool. Ravens trying to get that. This is Washington. Really? Nah, I've been waiting. WWE to bring back the women's tag titles. I think that they just need to be booked right? I think it will last till WrestleMania 38. That would be, yeah, it could. I think it could go soon. I think the women's tag titles, there's a opportunity for them. Yeah, fam. I'm live during the game. Feel free to hop on. This is history. A black WWE champion back to back. Like, how often do we get that? Never before. Never before. The thoughts on the NXT reboot. I think WWE should develop the guys they want to use. Indie guys and indie guys in WWE don't mix, in my opinion. A lot of people don't. That's not a bad take. It's the thing that it comes down to character development, because you look at people like Kevin Owens, right? Or you look at somebody like Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa didn't have the greatest character beforehand. And that's what a lot of people don't talk about. He didn't always have a great character when he was in Ring of Honor, but he developed that character in WWE. And it's kind of like Daniel Bryan said when he was in WWE. Now Bryan Danielson talked about finishing school and the importance of having finishing school in pro wrestling. So I think WWE can, but that whole indie style doesn't work. The odd pairing of Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley. There's always a room for an odd couple in wrestling. Look at Naomi and Natalya and Tamina. Look at Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. There's always been, you had one of the greatest odd couples in wrestling, The Rock and Sock Connection. They're still making merchandise. They got Funko Pops and stuff. So there's always room for an odd couple thingy in wrestling. What's next for Bobby after this feud? Well, I think this feud stays a while. Then I think he might kind of get a break, right? But I think he said black is one thing AEW can't do yet. Smart. Fam, I brought that up earlier. Like, WWE now, it's tonight we saw that they can't just ride in cruise control. They have to, they recognize it. No, is it quote unquote competition as far as merch? As I wait for Justin Tucker to hit this field goal, and it's good. 40 seconds, under 40 seconds left. But they can't just ride cruise control the way they used to. So now Yeah, Big E really won. Shout out to Vincent Scenario. Hope I said that right. But now, it's good that WWE is showing their diversity. They've always had the diversity cards. Now there's this argument with AEW fans versus non-AEW fans. AEW fans will tell you, some of the AEW fans will say that some of the black superstars there aren't ready yet. But then there's some who say you can do something. So I like what AEW is doing, but they don't have enough black wrestlers. That's what D-Man X just said. But then you look at a guy like Powerhouse Hobbs, who, he may be green, but you can kind of build him the same way Goldberg was built, right? Or can you? Can you make him a dominant force and use him sporadically, but just kind of build wins on him, right? Big Swole, I don't see what's the problem there. I don't see why she cannot be in the title picture. If you're looking for a ready-made black superstar, Jade Cargill isn't ready, right? She's still green, she's still learning. That's cool. Big Swole isn't. So you can make an argument there. You could also have some people on the go vie for the TNT championship, or at least put them in the division. So um there's so much there and so much opportunity there. But WWE, you look at them, they have ready-made black superstars. You got Big E. If Xavier Woods, you could really, people may frown upon it, but he could be ready. Says nobody's ready but Swollen Starks. Starks is another one, right? You know, the 9-pack. Yeah, John is talking about Jade Cargill. Is oh man, Derek Carr. Yeah, Derek Carr, man. Yeah. I got the game on. It's this is the part. Don't nobody say nothing. My thing is my TV is delayed, so Ravens need a sack here to end the game. It says Hobbs is great, but hard for AEW to push. There's a barrier with the fans when it comes to big guys. That's another good point. You know, but I want to see if they can develop some superstars. But right now with all the former WWE guys that I said aren't necessarily former WWE guys, they would have been in AEW had this company been around years ago. It's going to be tough. You know, it's going to be tough to see if AEW use them. Because those are the folks that when you really look at it, they're going to go for a 55. He can make that. I'm pretty sure he's in the NFL. Yeah, as I get nervous, and I shouldn't be, because I don't have a I don't have a I don't have no money on this game. Bank says the Raiders been tricking people since 95. Well, I hope they trick people, and I hope he misses this field goal. This is Monday night. Ravens need to escape right here. 55 yards. Are they going? Well, John Harbaugh really doesn't, and he's gonna make it. God dag. We're going to overtime. I'll be doggone. This should not be the case. I'll be doggone. Woo, man. All right. So yeah, but with he says I want I want Randy to win. Um, yeah, back to wrestling. Back to wrestling. But yeah, when you look at what's going on in AEW versus the WWE, like I said, WWE has ready-made superstars. If they want to, they can put the title on a Naomi. They can put the title on Xavier Woods. People may not see him as a WWE champion, but just talking skill set and marketability, and somebody who, if you put the machine behind him, you don't have to wait for him to develop. And I think that's the thing in AEW. A lot of black wrestlers, you do kind of have to wait to see them develop. So that's the big difference there. So it's but tonight we crowned a new WWE champion. This is definitely a moment. It was quick because of the commercial time. So he won the championship, and then they kind of like got not got off. They went off the air. So Cesaro will be a great fit for AEW. It says Raw airs on 5:30 a.m. Oh, Yeah, a bunch of us put that in the title that Big E was the WWE champion. I'm still trying to get used to saying that. We seen this on video games. And this was definitely somebody that people wanted to see. When he came up as Big E Langston, they said, "Yeah, we'll see." WWE title they handle with care compared to any other title. Well, I think it's cool because it was one point we just didn't see somebody hold the WWE championship, right? It was like they got the world championship, all the white indie legends leaving. Um, that when you look at it, I saw Johnny Gargano's contract is up in December, and I don't know what's going on. Bobby has Bobby has a boring reign. I don't think his reign was boring. I think he was, like many people, there was the pandemic and then, transitioning. But I thought Bobby had a great reign, you look at, some dominant wins, some hard hitting matches with Drew McIntyre, so there's nothing for me to complain about with the reign of Bobby Lashley. He looked like a dominating force. Here's the real question: will the Hurt Business get back together? Will they come back together and say, I don't think Bobby quote unquote need them, but maybe they want to go back and help their good buddy out, right? So, um, yeah, we'll see as we look to see what happens. But yeah, Big E is the WWE champion. Um, as we I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I definitely appreciate y'all tuning in, everybody. Make sure y'all subscribe to the podcast. I said, do you think Goldberg will come back and feud with Lashley? Well, apparently he has some more matches, right? So if he has some more matches, maybe. So do you think Big E's character will be uh any more serious? No, I don't think it quote unquote needs to be serious. I think it is what it is. I think, some people want him to be different, but I think Big E is like just happy. We're like Bobby had a good run. They gotta run this back. E gotta win clean. We gotta get the E Goldberg match. That's a good one. Bobby Lashley heading to AEW. That's hilarious. I think Big E might be a short-term transitional champion like the Miz was for Lashley. Maybe AJ Styles up next. I don't think you put the Money in the Bank briefcase on Bobby Lashley to make him a short transitional champion. I think we did that with the Otis because it was something to try during the pandemic. And then it was like, all right, well, let's just put it on the Miz so you can get to Bobby Lashley. But because you didn't want Drew dropping the title last because you wanted them to have that program. So, Miz is the ultimate utility player. Roman and Big E as Survivor Series. That sounds like a good one. If Roman's still champion, because he could have Brock coming up, and quite frankly, I would like to see Brock beat him. I mean, Roman beat him. I don't think Brock needs the championship ever again, but that's where I stand with that. But even with Big E's character, I just don't see him changing. I think Big E is going to be who he is. It's gotten him to the WWE Championship. I'm pretty sure he had the typical hug from Vince McMahon. I hope they did a 24 on this. I'm not sure if they did one with Bobby Lashley, but I really hope they did one tonight. I hope they had all the documentary cameras rolling. Albert says, "What do you think of the new NXT?" I think the new NXT. I know I haven't got a chance to really talk about it, but I'm interested to see. I think they wanted to brighten it up. I was talking to one of my friends, and he said, kind of want to brighten up the place. NXT is now Nickelodeon, bro. We say that, but let's see how the ring looks. Let's give it some time, right? Maybe they wanted to get away from that dark look because it's on USA Network, and yeah, I know it was on that way for a while, but we don't know what Peacock. I mean, yeah, we don't know what Peacock is requesting, what they want to do. So maybe NXT will cater to children more. It never really did, except with it, besides Bailey, because Bailey was like really one of the first people. Kids went because it was wrestling and they cheered, but NXT was always for the hardcore wrestling fan. It was always for the hardcore wrestling fan. NXT 2.0 doesn't ring off. So um it's one of those things we gotta wait and see. I don't think it's gonna be you know, I think once the characters get rolling, it is disappointing that Samoa Joe is hurt. I ain't gonna lie, part of me is like, it's kayfabe, but it is disappointing that he's hurt because he won't be there. I really would love to see Pete Dunne win the championship. He's somebody that he's somebody that I've been a fan of for years. So I really would love to see him win the championship, and really, just carry that brand. So, but I know people thinking LA Knight will wear it. NXT equals Nickelodeon means Samoa Joe is jumping through the injury. Yeah, and fam says it's kayfabe. and because I was like, wait a minute, what did he get hurt doing? Practice? So I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe he just doesn't fit the mold for the new champion, but they didn't want anybody to beat him. Maybe he has to play like the bully role. Oh my gosh, who is this dude? Oh man. All right, so but I'm about to get out of here, folks. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. You want to see Pac and WWE again? I don't think we're getting that. I'm gonna be honest with you, but make sure you hit the subscribe button. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and leave y'all with a clip of our Life After WWE show. No, yeah, I'm gonna do that one. Yeah, if you haven't got a chance, check that out. And I'll catch y'all later on this week or next week.
Actually, wrestlers don't have to follow what is considered the status quo of the WWE these days. If you're not being used, you can decide I want to do something more. The rush of the fans, whether it's 50 people or 50,000, no longer makes a difference because superstars just want to be recognized because they feel now that maybe I don't need the machine to be what I consider successful.
Yep. That's true. You look at a guy like Cody Rhodes, right? Homegrown. Let's not forget. Homegrown in the WWE. What'd you say? Born with a silver spoon in his mouth?
Absolutely.
Say when it comes to the business?
Of course.
And he left because he wasn't like the way he was being used. I mean, he even went on record saying he had the challenges was like figuring out what to charge people, what to charge promoters, what to expect, because he hadn't been through this before.
No.
But he's went out there, he's thrived. We mentioned him on our Breakout Superstars episode, which you can find on the Wrestling Wrealm YouTube channel.
Did we?
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Break It Down with Brian H. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so you get notified every time the Wrestling Wrealm posts new content.